All right, everyone, welcome to our first workshop for the school year 2020-2021, Student One-on-One. We're sad that we missed you. Just know that the good thing about the virtual world is that we're able to bring the workshop to you and you can see it at your own time. Um, so welcome, and we will proceed. My name is Jessica Duarte, and I am the school social worker at William Green Elementary School. This is my third year working here at the same school. I never thought I would love my job. In particular, why I love this so much is because I love interacting with you and all the students here at William Green. I came into this field because I thought I too would have loved to have someone that could help me um, when my family was either down or when we're struggling in a particular situations. I think this is why I love my job so much. But because we're here to help children and families and offer a variety of supports, this is why school social workers are here. So you might be asking yourself, um, why school social work? And how are we integrated into the school environment? A school social worker is part of the mental health network. We provide counseling and are leaders of the social and emotional development within the school community. We work together with the school and the families in order to bridge community, school, and home togetherness. You might also be asking, how can we help you and your child? My team and I are available to you and your child all year round. We can assist your child in many ways. One in particular is individual and group counseling. We run individual counseling all year round. Some students are referred to individual counseling because they either need support with anxiety, maybe have lost somebody, right? So grief and loss, behavior challenges, so they might not be liking school for whatever reason, but it really ties down to the home environment. We're also here to support that, you and your family through that. Some students also have problems with friends, right? So we help them through their friendship issues. We also support school students by involving them, if needed, into group counseling. Typically, group counseling teaches topics such as empowerment, girl empowerment, or just gender specific empowerment. This group aims to boost self-confidence and learning mindfulness and identification of strengths, to express positive attitude and celebrate diversity, and create promoting outlook of future friendships. You might also be asking, like, social work, what kind of resources can social work provide me and my family? Our goal is to link families to resources and advocate on behalf of the families and students to ensure that their future is successful. Next slide, please. Now, without further ado, I would like to introduce part of my counseling team. I have a total of 6 interns this year from different universities, but I will have them present themselves. Go ahead, Ashley. I think you're the first one on the screen.
Hi everyone, my name is Ashley Martinez Munoz. I'm a first year student at USC and I am in the MSW program. The reason I chose social work was to be able to help children in different dynamics and offer any kind of support that they needed.
Hi everyone, my name is Gianna Sayage. I am also a first year student at USC getting my MSW. One of the reasons that led me to social work is that I absolutely love working with children.
And hi, my name is Joanna Lopez. I'm actually a last year MSW student at the School of Social Work at USC. And it's been a pleasure to work with William Green along Jessica and all the staff there. One of the reasons why I chose social work is I love what social work does to just the concept of humanity, how it provides support, emotional support. It provides a sense of comfort to individuals that need someone along the way. with just resources or just with anything that barrier obstacles that they might be facing. So it's a pleasure. Thank you.
So today we will be talking about attendance laws and responsibilities, how to establish a routine at home, right? Especially right now that we are learning virtually. I know that I'm a parent myself, so not only is my child learning virtually, but I'm there with my child learning. So how can we establish a healthy routine? And then our amazing community liaison, Sarai, will then be talking about good habits.
So we are starting off with AB 77. Some of you may know what this is, and if you don't, that's okay. What is AB 77? It's a bill that provides information on education finance for California K through 12 public schools. So it's pretty much allocating a budget to your child's school. And as you know, during this pandemic, this bill was recently reformed to meet specific guidelines, which includes providing your child with the proper technology to log into their distance learning. So if you're having any trouble with having a computer or tablet or Wi-Fi for your child, please reach out to the school so that we can make sure that you have those proper tools so that your child can succeed in distance learning. As well, this bill also is reformed to include that your school is required to have proper communication in regards to distance learning. So you might have noticed an increase maybe in phone calls or emails, and that's just to make sure that you as a parent are being well informed about any updates that are pertaining to your child's distance learning. And also, this bill is really important as it's based on different requirements of your child's school. And one of those is average daily attendance, which Joanna will be talking a little bit more about. But if you want to learn more information on this bill, we will provide a link within this PowerPoint.
Thank you, Ashley, for that. Yes, so as you heard, AB 77 is there to support you with providing you with the technology, with the communication, as well as with emphasizing the importance of attendance. And so we wanted to really add an attendance slide to our presentation to just provide you that knowledge, but also that empowerment of virtual attendance, because we know, as you know, this year has been very different of how like traditional school looks like. Zoom is a thing, and daily Zoom logins is the way that we are providing children their education, and that's the way that we're tracking attendance. So daily Zoom login is very important during this academic year. And then another very important topic and option that goes along with the daily Zoom logins is ensuring that the children are completing their async work. And that's the asynchronous, that is individual work when they're not on Zoom with their teacher. That's also part of being present, but it's also part of their educational this year. Another one is communication with the teacher. With teacher as needed, but just that communication with the teacher is going to bridge any gap that there might be between virtual attendance and asynchronous work at home, because it's easier potentially to, you know, get on do the daily Zoom class, but it could be more challenging to do the async because they need that additional support, and we know that, you know, these times also parents are working from home. So that communication is very important. So we encourage you that if there's anything that you would want to ask your child's teacher, definitely communicate with them using the Class Dojo platform. Okay, thank you so much for that. And we're gonna go into daily routines, which is something that can help you with your attendance, right? And so what is a daily routine is what we're going to also be talking about. It's a daily routine includes things or activities that are done on a regular basis every day. And everyone's daily routine might look different. But, you know, having a daily routine, having some type of kind of a schedule that's going to get you there is going to help you with ensuring that your child is training themselves to do what they need to do before they log in onto Zoom. Then we're going to move forward and we're going to talk about why it's important to set a daily routine. You know, it brings comfort and consistency to a child's life. Knowing what they have to do is definitely going to decrease any emotions that they might be feeling from having to do everything from home, right? An in-person platform, definitely they have the routine. So being at home, it can feel different. So having the daily routine is going to bring that comfort to them. It also establishes expectations for them. So they are aware of what they need to be doing. They'll learn from their caregivers the expectations that they have to do through the rules that are established. So that is part of the daily routine expectation. It also reduces your stress and anxiety. You know, the uncertain creates that sense of stress, that sense of anxiety. So having a daily routine for them where it's outlined and it's very detailed, it's going to help them with the reduction of those feelings that they can potentially feel emotionally, but also physically. And so that is why we've incorporated that concept in here as well. It gives children the confidence and independence, right? Them knowing a daily routine, them seeing it, helps them with knowing what they have to do, but they can do it on their own, which is helping them to develop that confidence to become independent and know that they can go from, okay, I'm brushing my teeth, to now I'm gonna go have breakfast and then I'm gonna log on to Zoom. And ultimately it creates healthy habits, right? It's knowing that from brushing their teeth regularly to completing their homework every afternoon, those routines help them establish healthy habits as they're getting older. So it's important to set that structure with the children at home, a structure that is consistent, that it's predictable, and that it also gives them the ability to follow through with their expectations at home. And their expectations from virtual learning currently. So we are going to move forward with steps to starting our routine, and my colleague Gianna is going to present that.
Hi, everyone. So I'm going to talk about how do you start and begin a routine. So with doing distance learning and maybe being home at LA, I'm sure there's a lot of frustrations that can come out. So setting a routine is really going to help. First step, there are only a few steps and we're going to go over that, but the first one is setting up rules. So make sure that you're setting rules together that make sense for your family. So not every rule is going to work for each family, so make sure you're tailoring it to what your needs and desires are. Make sure you're explaining these rules to your children. Don't expect them to understand it, and make sure you're showing them that you're firm about them as well. Providing a visual will be very beneficial. So you could either use a little poster board, a whiteboard, maybe some chalk, and just have it displayed somewhere easily in the home, at eye level, a place maybe that they go often to, that they can see. And making sure that you are staying consistent as a family, especially during the weekday. I know the weekend is a little bit different, but try and follow those rules as best as you can throughout your days and the week. Using consequences, using it for good behavior and maybe negative behaviors. I think a lot of the time as parents, we tend to maybe focus on the negative behaviors, which is great, but you also want to highlight those positive examples. So for example, if you see your child listen to one of your rules and went to bedtime when they should have, praise them, tell them they did a great job, offer any sort of extra rewards, maybe extra 15 minutes outside to play, whatever works for your family, just make sure you're implementing it in that way. So step 2 is sleep. I think this is probably my favorite one. So setting a routine starts even with the night before, making sure you're setting a time for bedtime each day, and for your children and for yourselves. That can probably be more of a challenge. And there are definitely a lot of benefits to setting up that bedtime. A lot of it is going to increase mental sharpness, performance, emotional well-being, and overall energy level. And these are especially crucial now while distance learning. So it can be a lot to sit in front of a computer, can actually be quite draining, especially on our eyes. So making sure that we're getting them to bed on time every night is really going to help. So step 3, have an actual schedule like we talked about that's a little bit of a visual. Now you can be super specific and have it within every hour if you want every half hour, but making it a very general one that's kind of done throughout the day so the kids know what to expect. This is an example right here. It kind of shows you, 7:30 a.m. to 8:30, you're gonna do breakfast and get ready. This schedule right here is targeted maybe a little bit for the older children in the home who could read and understand the things that are on that. So that's a really great resource we'll have for you at the end of the slide as well. Thank you. And then this is a visual example of a schedule. So just putting a picture, putting some sort of sign that any of your little ones are able to understand, even if maybe they might not be able to read or they don't read as well. You can make it very fun and interactive, something that they want to look at and want to know what's coming up next. Is it something to look forward to? Great, at 7 o'clock, I'm going to be having some playtime. I can't wait for that. Let me go ahead and finish my homework then. And then we're going to talk about motivational breaks. So time is definitely needed for respite and rest. So allotting time away from schoolwork and day-to-day activities is really essential to children. Studies have actually shown that having a break can help students be more attentive and better able to perform cognitively. So this is important. It's something very simple you can implement, or you can get creative with it. Just doing walks throughout the day, maybe playing in front of the yard, doing an obstacle course, just simply going on YouTube and maybe looking at fun, interactive, physical activity videos, building a fort. I mean, that's just with the things you have around in your house. If you have any, basketballs, maybe a basketball hoop, different things like that. Doing jumping jacks, you don't need anything for that, just yourself. Those are different things that you want to make sure you're putting in between everything throughout the day. This is just something a little, maybe an idea for you all to try in your homes during the month of October, maybe even through November. It's just kind of like a little pumpkin workout, gets you excited, gets you to be a little bit more active and move your body, especially when we're all sitting a lot of the times and having to do school that way, a little less activity has been going on maybe than usual. So making sure you're using this, which can be fun. And then I'm going to turn it over to
me. Okay, so hello, I'm the community liaison for William Green. Thank you, ladies. That was great information. I actually learned a little bit myself, and this information will be passed on to my nieces and my nephews. So thank you for that. So my part is basically just giving parents a little better understanding of what kids could do to better maintain the Chromebook or the iPad that the school let them borrow for this school year. Most of it is pretty much the same. They do differ in a little bit, in just a bit. So the first one is just basically forming good habits with technology. I know it's really easy to just turn it on, do whatever we have to do, or the kids just start inputting their information. But there's actually certain steps to making sure that we take care of the Chromebook, taking care of the iPad. It's just like a car. You know, you have to maintain the car, you have to go get it serviced, you have to change the tires. The only difference is this is a device that doesn't really require that much money, right? So the first one is for iPads. TK and Kinder were the only students that received this electronic. Definitely unplug the iPad when it's 100% charged. I've been told from professionals at certain companies that once the phone is fully charged, it's always best to unplug it. So it will be a great idea to unplug it for the Chromebook and the iPad. It just doesn't keep working once it's charged. Also, this one is a very important one, avoiding food and drinks. I know some kids might think it's pretty cool or very relaxing, but at the same time, we want to protect the electronics that the district provided for all of our students, and making sure that no food or drinks are near it. It's pretty easy for an iPad to maintain, but this will be more for a Chromebook, and I will explain that furthermore. Store the iPad in its protector cover. Each iPad was given a case. I know sometimes it might be bulky or it might be a little annoying, but it's really important that we keep that iPad in a safe spot so the screen won't be scratched or the screen won't be broken. Just making sure it's nice and safe. We are limited in electronics, so if something does happen to it, it might be a challenge to get a loaner one until it's fixed. And then, of course, we're trying to practice washing hands. I know certain kids might touch things that might be sticky, or they probably just came outside from playing. It's very important that they wash their hands before they start touching the iPad, because when they do use it to Zoom their teacher or whoever they might be Zooming, it's probably going to be sticky, and if they have to touch something, it might not work properly. And then it's also hold it with care. I know it's very easy for a student to just grab the iPad, just like whatever, but it's very important when students use both hands to take care of the device, just so that they won't slip. Especially Kinder and TK, their hands are very small, so the iPad is just a little bigger than their hands. So we definitely want to make sure that they're able to hold the device properly and safely. Be gentle with the screen and clean it with the soft cloth. So for this, it goes with washing hands. I know sometimes hands might be a little sticky. If they're touching the screen, say they have lotion on. They just got out of the shower, they have lotion on, and they're touching the screen, then it creates like a smudge. And sometimes it might not let the child press on the screen properly. So although they're trying to, then they might get a little frustrated or a little antsy, and then they might do it harder, and then that might damage the screen. So just cleaning it with a soft cloth, maybe the same type of material that if you wear glasses, maybe you can just clean it, or just with something soft. So those were for the iPads. Now we're going to move on to the Chromebooks, which is very, very similar. First graders to fifth grade received a Chromebook either last school year or the beginning of this school year. So again, it's just unplug the Chromebook when it's 100%. I know it's very easy to just leave the iPad plugged in overnight, but with time, it will start to damage the device, and with time, it will not continue to charge it. You will have to have it plugged in at all times. And I've actually experienced that personally. Avoid foods and drinks. Now for a Chromebook, it is very important that there's no food and drinks because they do have keyboards. If like chips start to go in between the keyboard, then it won't work properly. I'm sorry, not chips, like crumbs from a chip, it won't work properly. Or if they're drinking water and then they spill some of the buttons might not work properly as well. Keep the keep screen and keyboard clean, again, for the same reasons. Hold it with both hands. I know it's very easily for a student to, maybe they need help reconnecting, they might just grab the Chromebook by one of the sides versus closing the Chromebook and holding it as a regular book. Or sometimes I like to say like a baby, right? So it's very important that they hold it properly. Place it on a flat, sturdy surface. I know teachers are requesting that students sit at a table where they can actually focus and pay attention. So if it's like in between like books and the control, then it's not sturdy, then it starts to like move and make noise, and it could be very confusing for kids. I'm sure that was confusing just watching. And then avoiding pressing the keyboards hard. So I know some, like, just like the iPad, some kids get frustrated and something might not be working, but it might just be that the Chromebook is taking a while to read what the child is putting. So sometimes they like start pressing on it really, really hard, and it can actually damage it. And then in the future, they will have to press it hard in order to get the letter to work. One thing I forgot to mention about the iPads and the Chromebooks, it's very, very, very important that we stick to what the teacher assigns. So I know it's really hard, but Chromebooks are really used for, or Chromebooks and iPads are used for school purposes only. I know it's really easy for a kid to go on a game, but sometimes these games that they might download or these games that they might play on the website might slow down the Chromebook. A Chromebook, it's really not as strong as a regular laptop or a desktop. So when they start to play other games, it starts to slow the Chromebook down. And then that's when the problems start. I also wanted to reach out. It's not on my screen, but I did reach out to our tech guy, Mr. Vito, and he did have a few tips on just in case you're experiencing these situations. So I'm just gonna read it from what he sent me. So it says, if a Chromebook reads, please enter your old password. When logging in, just click on forgot password and then sign in anyways. So I know a few parents have reached out to me regarding that. So just press that, you just click on forgot and then just sign in as if you would, your child would. The next one is, if there's an issue logging into Zoom, they need to follow the teacher's session lesson. So sometimes teachers have their link on their Google Classroom or on their Seesaw or on Class Dojo. I'm not too sure what teachers are using, but their link will always be the best way to getting in. If there are issues with audio, microphone, and Zoom sessions, please have them check if they are muted. Sometimes students are muted not only on the screen, but actually their volume is lowered on their Chromebook or iPad, and that might seem like there's something wrong with it. And then also, if the issue persists, have them try using headsets or earbuds with a microphone. So just like a regular headset with a microphone will probably help with that issue. The last advice that he says is, if it seems glitchy or choppy when they're on their Zoom call, it might be because their Wi-Fi might be weak. So he recommends just moving the Chromebook or the iPad closer to the router. Maybe the kid is too far away and their signal is not as strong. So that could also help with that. These are all the tips that he sent me via email. And hopefully this helped you out in guiding your child to take care of the iPad and the Chromebook. We also want to thank you for watching our workshop virtually, and I also want to thank our interns and Ms. Jessica Duarte for putting this together. I believe they did a great job. The information was very great, and that's all I have from my end.
Thank you, Sarai. That was very informative. It kind of helped me remember to treat my my own personal laptop with some love and care, especially this is so essential to our world now. And so moving forward, we have a resource slide that we've added to this PowerPoint presentation. And so we hyperlinked where, it just thinking we can share the PowerPoint and you can just click on the hyperlink to be able to open the resource that we have on here. So we're going to navigate how to go about providing that resource to you. But nonetheless, there is more information about Text AB 77, some bedtime routines for school-age children. Like Gianna said, one of her favorites is sleep and very essential to a routine and schedule. And then energy out, she talked about some, physical activity and movement, which is highly recommended, especially during this time we're sitting for long periods of time now. So we want to get that blood flowing to help us. And so we as a team will, talk about how we can provide you the resources, but, we are only a phone call away. William Green has their contact where you can go ahead and give them a call as the school number and ask for Jessica or Sarai if you want further information about this PowerPoint and any of the information that we shared with you today. She can even provide these hyperlinks to you via email. But if you see them here, you can obviously just type this onto your browser and you probably will get this information. So as Sarai said, thank you so much for joining us this evening. And we hope that all of this is so helpful to you as we continue virtual learning. Thank you.
And I want to say a few words before we end. Thank you so much for seeing our recording today. Hopefully that next time we're able to engage you more in the workshops that we're going to be holding in the future so that we can make the engagement process more engaging for you and us. And so thank you. I also want to say thank you to Sarai for putting all this together and working collaborative with myself and my interns to make this happen and bringing this workshop to you all, and also including all my interns that put so much hard work in developing these topics that we've received from parents that were having or wanting information more on these topics. So thank you so much.